Hello, my name's Richard,
Hello, my name is Peter.
and this is the quick start for the kickstart. This is the final one. This is chapter 5. This is the last 5 meter dash. I'm here with Peter Blenkharn from Inside the Box Boardgames. My name's Richard. I'm from We're Not Wizards, and we are talking about this final exciting stretch to what can only be described as absolute craziness put in a box and then buried underground. So, first of all, Peter, how are you?
Um, Overwhelmed, I think is probably the best way to describe it. Yeah, we did not expect this level of success on the campaign at all. You know, a kind of tenth of this would have been great. But yeah, kind of shocked and amazed, I guess.
I mean, where we are, it is giving the time. It is. It's just after midday, and we have only got how many hours to go? Not that
Just
many.
short. Yeah, it's about 11 and a half hours now.
And in terms of the how much have you made so far on the campaign? Where are we?
Just
What
looking at the
level are
page
we?
now, got £325,418 with 5,859 backers.
And that's just. I don't know. I mean, every single time we kind of talk about this, we're kind of like, could this get any kind of sillier? And the last time we spoke, I think, where were we? We'd been at 198. I think we crossed into 200,
Yeah.
and now we're at 325. And you've been breaking records kind of left, right, and centre. And where are you now in the most funded UK Kickstarter kind of list?
We're I think it was about 100 backers away
Yeah.
from being the number 3 most backed project in the UK,
Oh,
and
what?
about another 600-700 away from being the number 2, right behind Dark Souls, which could happen, which would be pretty mental.
I mean, that's something to put on your CV anyway. It's like, so what you been up to? Well, I was actually part of the Kickstarter campaign that was 2 places behind Dark Souls as the most funded UK Kickstarter campaign, which is a good place. I guess because we're wrapping up, and obviously today it's a little bit shorter for time because it's during the day as opposed to our usual lovely little meetings at night. And I must admit, first of all, I have
Rendezvous.
enjoyed these little talks that we've had. But secondly,
Good, me too.
I guess this is a time maybe. I mean, where are we with stretch goals? First of all, the documentary is
Oh, all of
happening.
them. All of them.
It's like what we have. I'll have the lot off the menu, please. And now you've got the documentary as well, so there will be
Yeah,
filming
exactly.
happening as well. And this is something that I know
Yeah.
you're very excited about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was something we put there as a kind of okay, if we get to this level, we can genuinely do this, but we're not expecting to get anywhere close to it.
Yeah.
But it's something we want to do. You know, it's something we've worked out, and you know that's the number we have to get to make it happen. And then it's just as soon as I kind of saw the kind of the kit track stuff kind of trending towards that level, I was like, nah, it'll slow down. It won't go as fast as I think.
Yeah.
I was like, last night when I was up till about 3 a.m. last night doing all sorts of stuff. And,
I know.
I looked at it and was like, oh my god, I actually did it. It took me a few hours for it to actually hit me. I was like, crap, I need to book some flights to China. It's quite funny, really, but yeah. And I was chatting to a few people on the UK Tabletop Kickstarters group on Facebook, and I was like, I should probably call my bank and tell them that this money's coming in, otherwise they're gonna keel over.
They'll hold it because they'll think you've been money laundering or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, honestly, I'm just making board games. It's no one wants that many board
Exactly.
games.
Are these what are these board games made out of hardcore drugs? Yes.
Yeah, straight black tar heroin.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's meeples made out of cocaine, hard pressed,
Yeah, exactly.
basically, and going on. I mean, I don't think this, but it's very difficult to talk to you at the moment because I think you're in every single direction, feeling every single emotion at the moment because you're going to have this happening, but now you've got to deliver on it as well. And are you just kind of yeah, you sound quietly confident in when we've been speaking kind of off mic that this is all organised and pretty much apart from kind of things beyond your control happening. This is all under control and ready to go, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I think the really important lesson we've learned through, we've done, this is our 5th campaign. Like we're not new to this at all, but
No.
we failed 2 campaigns. We're quite open about that. We made some pretty big mistakes, but I think the main thing that we've learned is that like people appreciate it when you like are upfront about the things you don't know.
Yeah.
And like it's the same with anything. If you're honest with people and say like, you know what, I haven't got a clue. I'll work that out. See what happens. I might not be able to.
Well, I mean, at least
Like-
you're honest rather than fudging it, because there's nothing worse than somebody. Well, I mean, listen to the podcast that we do, and We Are Not Wizards. The number of times I'm obviously have no idea what I'm talking about. It shines through. But I think people appreciate your honesty, and that you're still here. And what I mean by that is you're still kicking about on the comments sections of Kickstarter, answering people's questions. Obviously, is it Russian Sea? They seem to be.
Yeah,
is that one of them? They seem to be taken over as kind of like the official voice of the Kickstarter kind of.
Yeah, I seem to have like collected myself like a group of like unofficial interns. Like this is like all these like super backers who are like really into the project.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been such a support through the campaign. It's been probably about 20 people who have been maybe they're in Australia or America where I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And they're answering questions for people, and they'll be like, don't worry, Peter's probably in bed at the moment, or he's having his breakfast, or it's the weekend, so he's probably with his family or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, just give him a chance, and here's where you can find the information. And by the time I get to the comments, half the stuff's been answered by them. It's fantastic. Like, it's really nice to see that level of kind of like, I want to say like personal support. Like, it's really nice.
And how is Tim?
Tim, I think he's still shell shocked a little bit. Yeah, I think he's been surprised, I think, at how many people have wanted to back the game, and he says it's all down to the marketing and stuff, but it's a really solid game. Like it's we were confident enough to put it out onto Tabletopia and Print and Play and stuff. We were like, try it for yourself. Like you will like it.
Yeah,
like, it is a good game.
And I mean,
it's not for everyone, but it's a solid game and it's good fun to play.
Well, I mean that's been easily displayed in the type of numbers that you've done, because it is going to be a game that is going to get now covered by other places. I mean, it is going to be one of these ones that's going to get picked up in the press. Hopefully, there'll be a lot of websites that will be talking about it. I mean, are you expecting kind of knocks on the door from like Shut Up and Sit Down and guys like that at all? Would you?
I wouldn't say expecting, like, that'd be cool. Like, that would be really nice. And, like, I haven't talked to those guys before, so I don't know kind of, what kind of stuff they'd want to cover.
Yeah.
Obviously see this stuff, but, like, I have no idea really whether they want to waste the time on it, I guess. But,
I guess you could go over the line and say, that Dark Souls board game that got funded on Kickstarter, we're 2 places behind it. Would you like to have a chat? But we'll see. You just go.
Yeah, I mean, like, it'd be cool, we've got a decent amount of interest, during the campaign and stuff, just say, bloggers, podcasters like yourself, video reviewers and stuff, wanting a copy of the game, and I'm like, I've run out of review copies, like, I produced more than I thought I'd need. But yeah, it's just like, cutting out those review copies was so horrible. But did like most of it by hand, which is a pain in the backside, but never again. Yeah, like we've had a lot of interest so far from a lot of people, sort of all over the place. And like we're now officially on the Board Game Geek hotness, which is
really well. They took their time, didn't
great.
They? Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was one of the things that I think was it was Russian Sea just kept on going on. We're still not on the list. We're still on the list. I think they got to the point they were starting to take it personally. And they were just like, everybody clicked that link. Because when I saw the comments, it was like, it's not happening, guys. What's going on? Somebody needs to go and have a quiet word with these guys and make sure it's getting on the hot list. Because I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get annoyed. I'm like, you're a backer. What's going on?
Yeah.
You're starting to invest your life in this a bit much. But stepping back from everything, are there people that you maybe want to kind of thank that, I mean, handing over to you, Mather, rather than me jibber-jabbering away. But are there people like right now you'd like to maybe give a shout out to that maybe aren't the kind of the usual suspects? The floor is yours, sir, as they would say.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that a lot of people forget is there's a lot of people behind the project. that you don't necessarily, you don't necessarily see as the kind of the headliners. So people see me a lot because I'm the one doing all the communication stuff. People see Tim as the designer, but David Franco Campos, the illustrator, he's been working absolutely flat out since before Christmas, getting all the illustrations for all the characters, all the tile types, all the expansions, tokens, all the story art. Stuff for the campaign page, textures, like all sorts, and like it's not easy. Like the guy's pretty much sat there painting on his laptop all day. Like he loves what he does and he really enjoys it, but like it's hard work. And yeah, he's done an absolutely incredible job. And like we've tried to provide him with as much sort of information on what we're kind of looking for as possible, but he's consistently cracked out really high quality stuff. And similarly with the other two sort of like visual creatives, I suppose, like Zach, once again, Zach Eidsvog, he's our graphic designer. He worked on the illustration and graphic design for Statecraft. It's just where we got him from. And yeah, like once again, like he's taken not only like a way of just kind of showing information, but making it more easy to read. Like him and Tim have worked together for the last like few months, basically. Honing in on like the best possible ways to communicate little tiny subtle bits of information in the entire game. Like we all had an argument for about a month, maybe two actually, between the three of us about exactly the size of like the icons on the tiles, what color they should be, what pattern should be underneath them. Like it was like the finest detail, and it was worth doing, like absolutely. Because we went back and forth and tried all sorts of different ideas and eventually settled on something we're pretty happy with. But it's the guys behind that kind of stuff that really it takes it from like an 8 to a 9 kind of thing, like from a good quality game to something really good. They've really spent the time to make it that extra bit better. And as well, we've got David Fjallarson. He's done the graphic novel, which is. We haven't shown too much of it, obviously, at this point, but it is absolutely fantastic. Like, I mean, I've read through it now, and it is brilliant. Like, the artwork is incredible. The narrative's really engaging. It's fantastic. Like, I'm really excited to sort of get people reading it. And sort of, what I say, last but not least, definitely, Nassos, our sculptor, who has been like pretty much flat out again since before the campaign even started, getting all the sculpts finished. We're nearly there and nearly finished all of them now. But yeah, he's been doing some incredible work getting, taking the artwork that David's done of the characters and translating that perfectly into a miniature, which is pretty. I don't really know how he does it, but it's pretty incredible.
So, and anyone else you'd like to kind of give a shout out to at all?
Probably yourself, to be honest. My weekly therapy.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be like a bill at the end of this, but the only way, I mean, as we've maybe said before, the way that you can pay me back is by maybe little black sticky things on meeples.
I think I could probably make that happen.
I'm going to be so delighted if that's going to be the case. If you are going to make it happen, because that is going to make me a very, 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 very kind of happy man. Is there any kind of last thoughts that you have kind of going forward? I mean, anything that you've learned? Yeah, I mean, that's it. Any kind of, I mean, I know this has kind of come along as a whirlwind for you, but is there any kind of thing that you see you've learned in the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks from doing this campaign?
Yeah, definitely. I think what's been quite interesting about this one is that we've been lucky in that the things we've tried worked. There were things we knew worked from previous campaigns. We're like, these are the best ways to communicate what the game is to people, so that the most people know what it is and can then make an informed decision on whether to back it or not. Like that kind of stuff was we'd learned that over the last 4 campaigns, like how to do that.
Yeah.
But there was like a few bits that I remember it's kind of fluffy really, but like when we did the Statecraft campaign, they did really well. Like one of the things that I really enjoyed doing as part of the of running the campaign, and it seemed to gain the most kind of excitement, was things like competitions. So ways for backers to get directly involved in the campaign itself. and contribute in some way. So it did like the suggestion box and stuff. People really like that. People were, we've got about 200 suggestions in the suggestion box for SubTerra at the moment. Just like sharing their ideas, and like people feel like you actually listen to them. Like they're not just shooting comments into a comment section.
Yeah,
I actually do read them. Like,
I'm sure you do.
Like the Statecraft. Yeah, and like the Statecraft one, we actually made one of the expansion sets available that someone suggested, based on a design that we had sort of in the back room, so to speak, that we sort of reskinned for the purpose. But yeah, I mean, it's that stuff that's been really successful in SubTerra. It's like, there were very few ways that we could really add much more to what we already had to offer at the start.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stretch goals, a lot of quality upgrades, a lot of extra fun bits in there, but we couldn't add massive swathes of gameplay stuff just because we didn't want to break the existing stuff.
No.
So we were like, well, what we've tried to do is like all this extra creative fluff. So we've got all the extra artwork, all the writing, all the graphic novel stuff, the miniatures, ways of making the whole experience more immersive and kind of more all encompassing. And we're like, well, that's the stuff we've got more of an opportunity for people to get involved in. Like it's not as critical to the core game product, so to speak.
Yeah.
In terms of manufacturing, getting the game design and all that stuff sorted. And that was like the key thing to take away from this one is that like what people seem to want from a Kickstarter is not here's a cheap product.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of times where you can get that, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But like Kickstarter fundamentally, and you can see this from a lot of stuff they promote on the website and the Facebook and stuff. Like they want creative stuff. They want people to feel like they're helping make something and not just paying lip service to the idea. Like, and we kind of saw that. We're like, well, let's see if we can try it. Like it might not work. It might horribly backfire. We might spend a lot of effort in trying to get this sorted. It might not work. But we were lucky. Like backers really seemed to like the idea of being able to get involved. We did fiction competition, concept competition for horror miniatures. We did a photo competition where someone had to send in a picture of a scared face.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome.
But yeah, we've had like across those 3 competitions like a few hundred entries. Like it's not incredible numbers, but it's been really fun. Lots of people have voted.
Yeah, no, it's pretty decent for the competitions that you've run.
The main thing is it's meant that there's a reason for people to come back and join in. Like it's kind of hard. I back a lot of campaigns, like, and there aren't that many that I spend a lot of time looking at.
Yeah.
Aside from ones I'm like tracking for trying to get market research and whatnot. But but there's a couple that I like really enjoy like looking back at and thinking, yeah, this is really fun. Like what's happening this week? And it's that kind of thing that we were kind of lucky enough to realize was a useful thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think going forward we want to do more of it. Like it's more fun. It's more creative. Like it's more what we're about. Like we like doing that stuff. At the end of the day, we make games. Like I'd rather not spend the whole time doing marketing work. It's kind of boring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like the core content stuff is really cool. Like it's really what gets us excited. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning. So being able to do that on such a big scale with backers is really fun. And I think we were lucky that we took a bit of a gamble on that and it worked. And I think people appreciated it. So going forward, I think we're going to be doing a lot more of it on the campaigns.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I guess, and what I was going to say, and finally, have you got one last message for the backers kind of out there before we kind of, I guess, sign off on this little mini-series, which has been an absolute joy to do. But have you got any last words for the backers out there that have backed?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the main thing is thank you. Like, it's, there's a lot of risk associated with backing a Kickstarter. Like, people have got used to the platform and, people recognise the brands and stuff. And, we've delivered a campaign before. We're about to fulfil the next one and we'll be fulfilling this one in a couple of months' time.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of trust. And, like, 5,800 and so people have trusted us with their money to bring them a thing. And that's quite a big deal. There's, even if it was, 10 times less than that number, it's incredible really that people are that willing to put their trust in you. Before you've actually done the thing yet, they're like, I like your idea so much and I trust you so much that I'm willing to put my money on the table and say, go ahead, make the thing, and then bring me when it's done.
It's a testament to the campaign that you've run at the end of the day, and I think it's been fantastic. I mean, I'm delighted, obviously, because you've picked, you've been part of our little podcast to kind of share your story, which I'm really, really grateful for. So I want to, thank you for these little weekly meetups that we've had. They've kind of been a lot of fun.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's been enjoyable to kind of chat through, as you say, just kind of talk through what's been going on each week.
Yeah. And the next one that you do, we will have to look at doing it again.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess the last thing that's left to do is to sign off. We are going to come back and we're going to do like a post Kickstarter type show. I don't know when that's going to be, but we're going to have another probably longer, more relaxed kind of little chat and see if we can maybe bring Tim in, because I've been threatening to try and bring Tim in. But I guess for now, I guess there's only one thing left to do, which is to say goodbye. So it is a big, huge, fantastic, fabulous, wonderful goodbye from Peter at Inside the Box Board Games. So
I guess, it's kind of tearful farewell.
I know. I don't say goodbye, say adieu.
What he said.
Exactly. Remember, stay safe, roll sixes, keep your torch lit, take your comic, gather your art stuff, take your miniatures, get your UV box, everything like that, and it's all thanks to this guy here. But until next time, it's a goodbye from me, bye bye, and it's a goodbye from Peter.
Bye from me.